It's going to be interesting to see what happens when Connecticut is tested because they played Holy Cross, didn't play well in the first half. Geno Auriemma calls them out, calls the team immature. And then there was some criticism of Paige Bueckers, actually. And Paige, I'm going to be watching closely because of her star power, obviously. And you don't want to read too much into a game like this against a fluff opponent. But Paige's efficiency has a chance to be her enemy. I do think in the games against the top opposition, they're going to need her to take over and shoot more at times instead of just taking the shots that present themselves to her. Now, of course, they also have Sarah Strong, which is a big help, who is going to be one of the biggest problems in women's basketball going forward. But we'll see how Connecticut does as their schedule gets tougher because Geno Auriemma was not happy with their performance against Holy Cross. Here is what the head coach had to say after that game. As you can see, I'm going to play you the whole thing because dude was not thrilled. This was per SNY.
Coach, a much better second half for your team. What changed for them in the second? How do you feel about their effort?
I thought our effort was much better in the second half, and obviously it showed. Because we got a lot more opportunities. We're a very immature team, so we can't, as has been the case for most of our games. It's hard for us to sustain something for 4 quarters, So we're gonna have to be a lot better at that.
You say you're an immature team, but Sarah Strong, she's played very maturely. She gave you 22 points in this game.
Yeah.
She shot very well from 3. We've been talking about her all year so far, but what have you been seeing from her that's just really been standing out for her to be able to perform at this high of a level?
I think she just likes to be put in those moments where, we need a play. We need her to make a play. Whether it's, make a 3, get a bucket, get a steal. She has the ability, as I've said, to impact the game a lot of ways. And I think as we were, kind of struggling to make shots in the first half, she was the only one that really felt, comfortable. She's only going to get better and better. There's a lot that she needs to work on, but she has a feel for, when we need it and, what we need and when we need it.
You have a really tough slate of games coming up. 4 of your next 5 opponents are in the top 25. What kind of challenges does that present for this team, and are they ready for the challenge?
Well, we just played the number 5 team in the country, Holy Cross. So I don't know that we're going to be phased at all by playing those teams that are really, really good. I mean, we just dominated the number 5 team in the country, an effort like this against those teams, and we won't be in the top 25.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah. Top 5 win. Congratulations.
Yeah, no, Holy Cross played in the first half like they were number 5 in the country, and we played like we were unranked, which may be the case come December 21st. Who knows?
A win is a win. Congrats, Coach.
Yeah.
Incredibly sarcastic performance from Geno Auriemma there in that interview. As was mentioned, they do have a tough schedule coming up. Louisville is next. Then they've got Notre Dame, Georgetown, Iowa State, and finally USC. USC being the marquee showdown on December 21st against Juju Watkins and company. But Sarah Strong, you heard reference there, and it is worth highlighting her performance because she is incredibly impressive. You see why she was the number 1 recruit in the country with what she's able to do out on the court. And, these games against the lesser competition, it's always tough, but you can see just the physical, impressive nature of Strong. And she is a big girl, but super coordinated and super skilled. Pull-up jumper right there. I mean, she has a chance to be the next superstar, I think, clearly. The quickness at that size to get to the baseline there on the right. Here she is in transition, pull-up 3. You don't see that very often. That's a game-changing player. I mean, to be honest, and I don't want to get too far, but very well could be the most talented player on UConn's roster. Look at her pursue the basketball there. Again, from the corner. Cash. Very rare combination of size, coordination, and skill from Strong. She knows how to use those ball fakes there, and then to get to that spot for the midi. Come on. I've been hearing this name for a long time. Good pass from Paige on that one. But Paige is going to be the one who gets nice pass from Strong to Paige. The criticism, because she's the star, and it's not like Paige played poorly in the game. She filled up the box score. Her plus minus was great, which they pointed out on the broadcast a bunch of times. But she's under the microscope because of her status being headed to the WNBA draft as the presumptive number 1 pick, with the expectations of it being a championship for UConn. She had 11 points in this one, only 9 shot attempts. And I think that's what people are going to want to see more from her is, does she have that switch to say, okay, instead of getting everybody going right now, I got to call my own number. And I got to call my own number against the best competition, because that's going to happen in order for UConn to accomplish their goals. Again, can't make too much of a game like this because a lackadaisical effort is going to happen sometimes. And, they just came off of a trip. They're probably in a little bit of a lull, getting ready for the rest of this schedule to pick up. It's just human nature. Paige just had her big deal. She presented all that stuff to her teammates. So I give them a little bit of leeway. But I haven't seen from UConn anything that makes me think, okay, they're on a different level than the other teams that are near them in the rankings. The South Carolinas and the UCLAs of the world, as we see this season pick up and progress. And, we'll see where it all shakes out, but they're going to need Paige Bueckers to be at her very best. They're going to need Sarah Strong to continue to develop. They're going to need AZ Fudd to contribute, who was moved into the starting lineup. And I think what you saw from Geno Auriemma there was just him trying to sound a little bit of an alarm. Not like an alarm like get out of the building, but like wake up. A morning alarm clock. Get up, guys, girls. Let's go. We got some real games to play. So UConn did win by a bunch of points, by the way. It's not like it was a close game, but it was closer than their coach surely would have liked when it was halftime.